I was in Bakersfield, California over the weekend watching the California High School State Wrestling Championships. And it was a really interesting event. I'm glad I went. I got to see some great wrestling. Probably the highlight of the weekend was a friend of mine's daughter was involved, and she had a great tournament. I got to watch her wrestle and tape some of her matches. Sent them back to her dad. So that was really cool. And one thing that stands out to me from the tournament, aside from watching my friend's daughter wrestle, which was the highlight, there was one particular match. This was in the round that decided which wrestlers would be disqualified, or rather eliminated from the tournament, and which ones would become all-state, meaning they would place in the tournament and get a trophy or a medal and get recognized for their performance. And in California, this is a huge deal. I mean, it is in all states, but in California in particular, it's known for having really high-level wrestling. It's a large state, and there's only one state tournament. So there's not multiple divisions. There's one state champion for the entire state. So it's a big deal. And if you place at this tournament, it's a big deal. So the round that determined the final 8 wrestlers who would go to place in the tournament was happening. And in this round, if you win, you stay in and you place. And if you lose, it's your second loss, which means you're out. It's double elimination tournament, which means your second loss means you're gone. And I was watching a match that was going one particular way, and it was between 2 wrestlers who are both pretty good, but one was clearly better than the other. And the match was going his way. He was up by a decent amount. He was clearly technically better. And there was not a lot of time left. I don't remember exactly how much time, but it was maybe like a minute left in the match. And the other kid had been down the whole match, and everything he did, the other guy had an answer for. But he didn't give up. And for whatever reason, the kid that was ahead made a mistake, or just, did a bad move. Like, he did something he didn't need to do. He took a risk that wasn't necessary, and he put himself in a compromising position. And the kid who was down took advantage of it and ended up winning the match. And, I don't know how old these kids are. I don't know if it's their last year in high school. But regardless, this is a huge tournament. This is the culmination of their season, if not their entire wrestling career up to this point. And placing at the California State Tournament is a big deal. So it's just a little microcosm of not giving up, because it looked like the match was over. All the kid who was ahead had to do was hold on and basically wrestle conservatively. Again, he was the better wrestler. Like it was noticeable. Technically, he was better. Physically, he was just as strong, if not stronger. There was no reason for him to lose except that he lost mental focus. And the other kid, there was no reason for him to win. But he kept mental focus and walked out of there the winner and got to place at the state tournament. I don't know where he ended up. I know he lost his next match, and I think by a wide margin. He might have even been pinned. So he was definitely out of his depths beyond that point. He made it as far as he could make it, but in his case, making it as far as he could make it because of his ability to stay in the game and the other wrestlers' inability to stay in the game resulted in placing at the tournament, and that's for the rest of your life. Nobody can ever take that away from him. And it says probably something about him as a person, and hopefully he'll be able to use that mental focus and not giving up for more and better things in the future. But I think the lesson just is it's never time to give up unless you decide to give up. He could have quit mentally, but he never did, despite the fact that the odds were against him. The only person at the end of the day who can beat you is you. I mean, we can lose matches, we can lose in life, but we're the ones who decide how we react to our losses, how we react when the chips are down and things aren't going our way. We're the ones who have the ability to stay in and fight for all it's worth. And that's what this kid did. And as far as the other guy, I hope that he takes the lesson. Because even though that is a devastating loss, it might end up being the greatest moment in his life as far as learning, which if he takes it the right way, that's exactly what it will be. And I hope that that's what he does.